Welcome to Thoughts Can Heal podcast. I am your host, Denise Lynn, and I am so grateful that you're here with me today, just taking a few minutes out of your day to spend with me. So I'm really excited about this podcast. I really feel that the information that I'm going to share with you today can really bring a lot of peace to someone's mind if they are dealing right now with a lot of stress or worry thoughts. And what I'm going to talk about is in regards to worry thoughts would be worry thoughts about perhaps somebody in your family, somebody that you love, a close friend. And so that's what I'm going to dive into today. And again, this information has helped me so much. And just like everything else I share on this podcast, it's basically, if it's benefited me in any way, then I love to throw it out there and in hopes that it can help somebody else as well. I think that's what we're all here for. All right. So for the last couple of years, I have been studying a wonderful spiritual teacher. Her name is B.K. Shivani. And she's wonderful. So write her name down if you can, if you have a piece of paper handy, and look her up. She has many videos on YouTube, and she's remarkable. She's helped me really get through a very difficult, challenging time in my life, and I'm just forever grateful for her. She's really taught me to see things from a different perspective, and that's what I want to talk about today as far as stress and worry. And she mentioned in one of her videos about how we really tend to think that stress is normal, or worrying about somebody if they're going through something challenging, whether it be an illness or addiction or something like that it's normal to worry. And she explains that actually, no, stress and worry are not normal. And she also explains how when we have those thoughts for somebody else, we're not doing them a favor by worrying about them. We're actually increasing their pain. And if you think about it, she also does kind of mention in this one video about how when someone's feeling down or not feeling well, a lot of times they want to be by themselves. And she explains that the reason why people want to be by themselves when they're feeling down or not well is because they can't take any more pain. And if you are loving someone and worrying about them because they have an illness or an issue or, again, an addiction, and you're sending off that energy of worry, they can feel that because we are all connected. And even though you think you just have these thoughts in your mind, and you're saying all these positive things to them, they can still sense that you're worrying, and it adds to their hurt. So that's why people don't want to be around people. And this, I'm a parent. If you're new here, I have 5 children, and I've always thought it was normal up until these last couple months to worry, like sickly worry about my children. And I've learned over the last couple months that, it's actually hurts your child when you have even a silly thought like of something, worrying about something happening to them when they're not around you. So, I just want to mention that. And then as far as stress, she said it, and I know I've said it so many times, stress is just normal. We live in a crazy life. Stress is not normal. And when we start to think right and start to worry about our own thoughts, we become so powerful. And the truth is, stress is the cause of probably 95% of diseases out there. Stress kills people. And if you just think about like that, that's not normal. So mindfulness is, something that I practice and something that I teach. And it's not just being mindful of the words we say or the food we eat. We really need to be mindful of the thoughts that we're thinking. And, we have to replace any negative or limiting beliefs immediately with the positive and affirm it. Once we start doing that, once we become aware and we start paying attention to the thoughts that we're thinking, then we can, realize. Now, we all have negative thoughts, unfortunately. Excuse me. It's just, are we entertaining them, So, say you have a negative thought come in, you have two choices. You can immediately go, nope, and change it to the positive, change it to a positive thought, or you can entertain it. And so many times we sit and just entertain these negative thoughts, these stressful thoughts, these worry thoughts in our minds. And, sometimes we do it for hours. Sometimes we do it just randomly throughout the entire day. And then we wake up thinking about the same thing and we fall asleep worrying. And it's just not healthy for us, and it is not normal. And I believe that so much of, these disorders and depression and anxiety disorders are caused just from not understanding these truths. That worrying for somebody else is not going to help them. It's not going to help the situation. So what will help them is you being powerful and you sending them blessings. So rather than worrying, put them in your mind's eye and send them blessings. And, she says, say someone is going through addiction that you love, put them in your mind's eye and just send them the blessing. You are a powerful soul. You are the master of your mind and your body. And if somebody is aggressive, send them the blessing. You are a peaceful soul. You are a peaceful soul. And just, at some point we have to understand that we can't change anybody. The only person we can change is ourselves and our thinking. And when we hold grudges, when we worry, when we compare ourselves to other people, we are not living a happy, peaceful life. When we're angry. So, again, we need to be masters of our minds. And there goes my dog, Drake. Sorry about that. And we become masters of our own minds by, being mindful of the thoughts that we think. And instead of holding grudges, just forgive. Say somebody does something and says something really cruel to you, and you get really upset. And you tell 5 friends about it. And now they're upset for you. All you're doing is expanding this energy, this negative energy field. Instead, we need to learn to cultivate, okay, somebody said something or did something really rotten to us. I do not have to give them power of my mind. So I have a couple of choices. First, let it go. Just let it go. Understand that if somebody is cruel or does something mean to you, they're hurting. They are hurting. So when we understand that, we can say, okay, look, yeah, no, that wasn't right, what they did or what they said. But something's going on within them. And instead of me holding a grudge and hurting myself, because that just hurts you, it's not going to hurt them. Instead of me holding a grudge and getting all yucky and having these negative, yucky feelings and this energy, I'm just going to let it be as it is, and I'm going to send them a blessing. Because they're hurting. They're emotionally unwell. You know, anytime we as humans treat people wrongly, and trust me, I have done this. I have treated and said things I shouldn't have said out of anger. We all have. But once we learn that, you know, to react it's not helpful. It's not helping us. It's hurting us, actually. So forgiving and becoming more maybe compassionate and thinking, okay, something must be really going on with this person. You know, I'm not going to let it affect me. Nobody can get into our minds unless we allow them. Somebody must be home at my house. Sorry, guys, about the barking. But yeah, no one can get into our minds unless we allow them. So, you know, if you're holding a grudge, if you think about it this way, I mean, I don't want to sound mean or anything, but you've given up control. You've given somebody else control over your own mind. You know? So think about that. So I guess basically this is what I wanted to come on and talk about today. This information, again, has been just so helpful for me in my life. It's brought me so much peace. You know, it's taught me that for the people that I care about and I love, worrying about them is hurting them. It's sending negative energy. Why would we do that to somebody we love? So once you start thinking about like that, you're free of those negative worrying thoughts and you're blessing them. You're helping them. See the person as you like to see them. You know, if they're unwell, send them, you know, blessings of health. Tell them they're powerful. And BK Shivani says, every family needs somebody like with this mindset. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like, you're not just going to get off this podcast and like be a changed person. You have to practice these things. And this is where meditation is so valuable. You know, and it's not, meditation isn't just sitting there, no thoughts, you know, sitting Indian style with no thoughts. No, it's working on yourself and your mind. And it's sitting quietly enough to say positive affirmations and to affirm good and to pay attention if there are negative thoughts and to switch them to the positive. And this is something that we should do throughout the day. Check in with our minds, you know, a couple times a day. Okay, what am I thinking? And anytime you're not feeling good, you're feeling ask yourself, what was I just thinking? And most likely it was probably a negative thought. But with time and with practice and awareness, you will start to feel so much more peaceful when you start applying, you know, what I'm telling you today to your life. And that's my hope for you. All right. Before I go, I just want to tell you that I am offering my first book, Thoughts Can Heal, 30 Daily Practices to Help Heal Anxiety, for free as a download on my website. I'll leave a link in the show notes, but just in case, it's DeniseLynn.net. So it's DeniseLynn.net. So go on there and grab yourself a free copy of that book. There's 30 great techniques that have helped me in my healing journey. And then there's a gratitude journal at the back of it. This is a downloadable printable. But great affirmations and just positive quotes that, you know, you can read every day. I think there's 100 of them. All right. Let's take a couple deep breaths together before we end today. So as long as you're not driving, if you are, you can do this later on. We're going to sit up straight and we're going to close our eyes for a moment. And I'd like you to take a deep breath in through your nose and an extended exhale out of your mouth. And we're just going to do that 3 or 4 times together. So inhale, exhale. Again, exhale. Next breath, I want you to imagine you're inhaling peace and you're exhaling any tension. Deep breath in. Let go of any tension. One last time. Exhale out. All right, my friends. Until next time, take care and stay well. Namaste.